Now this is the Charger Hellcat Red Eye. There have been so many special editions of the Charger, it's hard to keep up. There's like the Scat Pack, the Daytona, the 392, Hellcat Wide Body, Demon, and now the Red Eye, which falls somewhere in between the regular Hellcat, which is like saying the regular flamethrower, and the Demon, which is like the volcano. In 1966, Dodge put out the first Charger. It was supposed to be like a Pony Car Plus, a little bit larger and a little bit nicer than the Mustang. It had 4 seats, but the 2 rear seats were captain's chairs. They weren't a connected bench, which they eventually became. The Charger's kind of weird looking in my opinion. I don't like it at all. The second gen Charger is the one that got famous. That was the one that looks perfect. It's basically the iconic muscle car. It was the villain car in the movie Bullitt. It was Vin Diesel's hero car in Fast and Furious. Although, is he the hero? Because he's like the bad guy. Because they were stealing stuff. But then you grow to like them in the movie. Okay, I'm conflicted on that. Anyway, then Charger went through some awkward phases, like everybody did. 70s and 80s were like the awkward teenage years for cars. They took 20 years off, and then in 2006 they brought it back. And it has been printing money ever since. It was a 4-door instead of a coupe. It looked tough. The headlights were like angry. They got this angle to them. It looks like it's scowling at you, like Mark Wahlberg with the crease in the forehead. And they just started selling them like hotcakes, which were apparently very popular back in the day because that became a phrase. They were cop cars, they were rental cars, they were muscle cars, etc. It was like the first 4-door muscle car, basically. They've been on that platform since 2006. They did some revisions in 2011, again in 2015, I think, but it's basically kept the same formula. 5 seats, big power, angry face. Charger's so popular that in 2019, when large sedan sales were going down as the crossovers continued to take over the entire world, the Charger actually sold more in 2019 than it had the previous year. Now, if you think Dodge took the regular Hellcat engine and just put a tune on it, well, you're wrong. So to make all this extra horsepower, they actually had to increase the amount of air going into the engine. So they've done that by giving the Hellcat Red Eye 3 different intakes. There's the traditional one here, there's this new mail slot grill down here, and then there's actually a little intake inside the left front wheel liner. And they need all that air to feed this engine. And it's not just a regular Hellcat engine with a pulley and a tune. This car actually got about 25 new parts handed down from the Demon. The supercharger itself has increased in size from 2.4 liters to 2.7. It's the largest supercharger ever fitted to a production car. The connecting rods, rotating assembly, all of that are stronger than they were in the regular Hellcat. You got an upgraded valve train, 2 fuel pumps instead of 1, and all of that makes 797 horsepower. Now, there is a price for all this power. The emissions and the fuel efficiency. This gets a combined 15 miles per gallon. It gets 12 in the city. That's about what a Raptor gets, but a Raptor can do a lot more than this car can. That gets it a 2 out of 10 rating by the EPA, and the smog rating is a 1 out of 10. This car produces about twice as much CO2 as a Subaru Outback, which can carry just as many people, just as much stuff, and take you a lot more places. But it can't do this. $797. What world do we live in? 707 pound-feet of torque. That's almost 3 times the amount of torque you get in a V6 Toyota Camry. This has 3 times as much torque. 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. It runs 10s in the quarter mile. all for under $100,000. To go that fast, you usually have to buy something from England, Germany, or Italy. Or it's gonna have 2 seats. This has 4 doors, 5 seats. Pack your friends in, scare the crap out of them. If any of them owe you money, this is the way to get it back. Transmission is the same 8-speed automatic you get in the other Chargers, except it's been beefed up a little bit to handle all the extra torque and power. It has an upgraded torque converter. I don't know how you upgrade it from the other Hellcat. I guess you just shove Wolverine's bones in it. Because this is Hagerty, we reached out to Dodge to explain how the upgraded torque converter was upgraded. Their answer? The new torque converter delivers an 18% increase in torque multiplication when compared with the standard Hellcat. So now you know. Top speed is 203, making it the fastest mass production sedan in the world. Dodge specifically points out mass production sedan. What does Dodge not consider to be a mass production sedan? The Bentley Flying Spur, which goes 207 miles per hour, and the even rarer Brabus 900, which allegedly goes 217. And when you want to put it in comfort mode and chill and enjoy the sights and look at the waterfalls, it's quiet and it's really comfortable. Seats are comfortable, they're adjustable. I can sit here and drive with my fingertips. You know, it's an AMG for 70% of the cost. It's a muscle car with 4 doors, 5 seats, seat coolers, you know, everything. But let's get serious. You don't really buy an 800 horsepower car for comfort mode, do you? Luckily, we have someone who can tap into the true nature of the Red-Eye. Pikes Peak class record holder and 2011 Formula Drift champion, Dai Yoshihara.
Actually, the suspension is a lot stiffer than I expected. I mean, it is a big American car, right?
So you're expecting it to like lean and move a lot, and it's not really doing it.
It's not that much, yeah. It's pretty surprising. It's still pretty neutral. It's not an oversteer car.
It has so much weight on the front. So it's 56% front, 44 rear.
Oh wow!
And the wheelbase is 120 inches.
120 inches.
Yeah.
That's so long.
What's the wheelbase on your Pikes Peak car or your Formula Drift car?
I think 102 or something.
102.
Yeah. It's like 20 inches shorter.
Wow. So what does having that really long wheelbase do for a car like this that has so much weight in the front?
So long wheelbase is basically makes more cars stable.
Okay.
But in the flip side, the car's not going to be as nimble, right? The front and rear is so much distance, so when you turn in, of course, front's going to turn in first, and then rear is going to get delayed.
Gotcha.
But also, you have more time to control it. So in a way, it's easier to drift with the longer wheelbase. I actually like the transmission pretty good. It's very quick. But I think the downside is it kind of upset the car a little bit when you upshift, even downshift too. But it's really very quick.
For an automatic, it's pretty fast.
Yeah. Just the shift shock is a little bit too much.
Okay.
And steering feel, it's actually pretty good for this big heavy car. I feel good amount of feedback.
Okay.
Yeah.
I felt like the rack speed was pretty good.
Yeah.
You don't have to give it a lot of turn.
Exactly, yeah.
Another feature of the Red-Eye is launch control. To activate it, simply open the glove box and read the manual, which we didn't do. Now it has all this crazy stuff, drive modes and the chiller and activate line lock. Shift light on. So shift light should show in your instrument cluster. Oh, shift light. Okay, cool.
Oh.
All right, so I'm gonna activate the chiller.
Chiller.
So this uses the air conditioning system to cool off the intake charge. Chiller activated. That's awesome. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I think we got it. Okay, go full throttle. All right, here we go. All right, launch control. Burnout. It's fast. Newsflash. It's fast. It's fast.
The launch itself wasn't that.
It wasn't that dramatic.
It wasn't that dramatic to me.
Vehicle launched at 2,500. Otherwise, it just does a burnout. Okay,
All right.
we'll try it one more time. So we raise our
All
RPM
right.
to 2,500.
You ready?
I'm ready. Wheel spin. Wheel spin.
Okay. All right. I guess it is what it is.
It is what it is. The tires can only do so much. I bet if you go to a drag strip and like with a prepped surface.
Yeah, and then like a drag slick or
All that
something.
stuff.
That's totally different story. But as is this condition, I felt it was pretty cute.
What do you like about this car? Or cars like this?
It's like a power, right? The power and sound, like it's very American. I'm not from here, so there's a reason for me move to America, right? Big power, big car, but surprisingly, it controls pretty good. So I actually really like this car right now.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna keep the tire a little bit more.
No, we're gonna put the fronts on the back. Yeah, that never gets old. Oh yeah, you're driving this back to the airport.
That's right. I have to do that part, so.
I'll help you shift the tires. It's worth it. The Charger's handling impressed us, although it's not exactly agile. 800 horsepower isn't for novices, so we gave it a 5. Unsurprisingly, the duet of blower whine and a big V8 scored high. Inside, there's almost every comfort you'd want, but it's not pushing tech boundaries, and a car at this price needs radar cruise control. The design would have us both looking back, even though I prefer them without the flares. Dai called it an iconic American sports sedan, and I agree. If the muscle car boom of the early 2000s is an indicator, the kids of today will be the Hellcat owners of tomorrow. With great power comes great responsibility, right? 800. 800.
That's crazy.